my app. What's going on? What's happening? Hey fam, what's up, what's up, what's up? This is Robert Anton here, robertantonnyc, coming to you with your no-frills American Idol commentary from a singer. Yeah, baby! Tonight we were at the American Idol Top 10 performance show, and we started the show with the top 10 getting on the selfie trend with the selfie song. But first, let's take a selfie. The theme of the show tonight was top of the charts, and it's songs from 2011 to today that have been in the top 10 of the Billboard charts. And the Idols got media training by visiting Ryan at that radio station and jumping on air with him, and we got their clips before each of their performances. First up, we had MK Nobilette. She did Perfect by Pink, and I like the little highlights in her hair. They're starting to glam her up a little bit, and she started out looking in the mirror. Do y'all remember where that started? I don't think it worked as well for her as it did for Michelle Samuel. I don't think she was actually seeing herself. I think that she wasn't really in touch with that quite yet. The vocal for this is probably the loosest and most comfortable I've heard from her or seen from her on the show so far. And she did go off at one point but stuck around until she got back on. But I think she was beating herself up the whole time until she finished that last note. Yeah, you can't do that. If you mess up, you gotta be like, okay, I did that, and then move on and make the rest better, you know. I think she was just thinking about it. And that's a hard thing not to do, not to keep going back, like while you're singing, while you're performing, going back and thinking, oh man, I messed that up. Oh, I hope I don't mess up the next part, because then it's gonna trip you up on the next part if you keep thinking about it. Anyway, Keith noticed that she didn't come back in right, but said she recovered from it well. J-Lo said when she was watching herself in the mirror, she felt it the most. Harry said it wasn't one of her strongest performances and alluded to it being a little karaoke. Next up, we had Dexter Roberts. He did Cruise by Florida Georgia Line, and something was a little off at the beginning of this song, and he kept fixing what looked like the volume on his mic pack. This was another good song choice from him though, as for his style and his voice, it fit perfectly, but it also was not very original in his execution. Again, I didn't find anything original about it. J-Lo advised him to rally the crowd when they know the song really well, you know, to get out and get them to clapping or doing something to really get into it and help to like up the energy. Harry said he didn't think it was a good performance because it was generic and bereft of joy, meaning he had no joy performing it. Keith said he liked what he did at the beginning, called him talented, and said he lost him a little bit at the end. And Keith was saying that he changed the arrangement at the beginning, and he liked that. I just thought that he messed up. It came off to me as not being on point, like there was a problem. Okay, so I got a little rant, quickly, little rant here. What's the best way to cover a song? And I think I'm going to do a full So You Want to Be a Singer on this. I don't have enough time here because this would be a 20-minute video, but I'm going to say quick 4 things. Point of view, arrangement, showcasing your talents, and playing to your strengths are ways to do a cover song well. Alright, and if you like what's going on here, make sure to thumb up the commentary. Let me know that you are here, that you're watching, and also let other people know that we are discussing American Idol over here. I'm looking for 50 thumbs. At least 50 thumbs is not too much to ask for. Thank you guys so much. Make sure to spread the word. Next we had Jena Irene. She did Clarity by Zedd, and I usually love Jena's tone and pronunciation, but I think on this song it was really pulling down the lightness of the lyric. It's like it was dragging the tempo of the lyrics for me or something. It just didn't feel right. She did some nice vocal things in the show, pumped up the crowd and kept her composure, so I enjoyed that about it, but I didn't feel like it fit the weight of her voice. Harry was kind of stuttering while talking to her and said he felt like he was at Club Ultra and he was starting to get a clear idea of who she is as an artist. Keith said he felt comfortable and energized and called it the best of the night so far. J-Lo said the song was perfect for her. What do you guys think? Tell me down in the comments. Alex Preston did Story of My Life by One Direction. And this was a nice storytelling song for Alex and something that he excels at. He kept a nice pace in the beginning, gave it a little indie approach. It also had a country feel to it too for me. Did you feel that? It was strange that he was pacing at a different point. You know how he's kind of walking while he's performing? Like it was at a different tempo than he was singing, but he was still staying on beat and on tempo. It just kind of drove me like crazy. I was like, oh my God, how is he doing that? He said he made it his own. J-Lo said his vocal was beautiful and she was in the song with him the whole time and compared him to Buddy Holly. Harry said he hit the bullseye on the artistry target. And when they cut to MK, after like he was getting his critique, she still looked like she was beating herself up about her performance. To me, she was just kind of in a little funk. Then Ryan read out some of the tweets from Directioners, and Niall himself had a tweet about the song. And I don't know if he tweeted about this performance or what, but he read said something to him that Niall said. Malaya Watson did When I Was Your Man by Bruno Mars, and I felt the emotion of this performance, and I really didn't feel like it was the right song when I heard what she was doing, but she had a lot of emotion and control for the first half of the song, and this was varied and had so many little sparks of greatness. I just see what's to come in the future of this girl, and it is very bright. Really a beautiful performance. J-Lo said she had goosies, and it was sung tenderly with feeling and love. Harry said what he liked most was her sincerity in the interpretation of the lyrics. Keith congratulated her for not changing the lyrics and said he's hearing more control and it really pulled him in. Caleb Johnson did The Edge of Glory by Lady Gaga, and he started this out sedate but singing up in the rafters. Them high notes was killing me and nailing it. And when he did the edge, I was right there with him. I was like waiting for him to just say, he went, oh my man, oh! It was impressive. I really enjoyed that. He got the range, the power, the emotion going on. I enjoyed this so much. The ending was a little throwaway that, you know, I don't know if he practiced that. He just did it on the off the cuff, but you know, that could have been better. But the rest was stellar. Harry said he's done better but gave him an A+ for originality. Keith said he has a killer tone and delivers every week but felt like the song was lumbering. J-Lo said it was lacking the feeling for her and said she felt like he was just showing off vocally. CJ Harris was up next. He did Invisible by Hunter Hayes, and he hit that first word a little hard but then relaxed into the rest of the verse. I really heard his sharpness coming through on this performance because it was out of whack with the strings, and it was just, oh, it was just a mess. He was into the emotion of the song, but some of it felt like a little screeched and didn't have a nice rounded tone. You know, it just wasn't working, and he even cracked at one point. Maybe, I wrote, it would have been better if he brought down the key a step or more for it to be a little more comfortable in his voice. Keith said he nailed it at rehearsal, but it was shaky with staying in tune tonight. J-Lo said there's no doubt that his heart is in it, but that it wasn't what it should have been. Harry told him he must get his pitch in check. Jessica Meuse was up next. She did Pumped Up Kicks by Foster the People, and this was a nice look and sound for Jessica, and she did a pretty straightforward performance. I think she could have dropped the guitar and took the time to get in the audience's face, but she was working the camera from behind the mic stand very nicely. I still felt her energy and groove, but I didn't think that she had a moment. It was just kind of meandering, kind of flat. J-Lo said it felt really good to her. Harry said he wasn't sure how she was interpreting the lyrics, and she had a one-dimensional performance. I really agree with that. Keith said she made it her own, and it had a 60s trippy pop feel to it. And this critique had the judges arguing for a bit, and J-Lo of course got the last word. And she was like, and when they came back from commercial, they were still like a little, it seemed like a little bad blood, and she was kind of looking away from him. Very funny. Majesty Rose did Wake Me Up by Avicii, and I love this song. I did a cover of it on my cover channel. I ain't do that great at it, I don't think. Anyway, but I might, if it's still on there, I'm gonna put it up there so you guys can go and tell me what you thought about it. She picked up a big guitar for this rendition and had a nice little set band on stage with her. She seemed just a little nervous through some of the song and kind of held back. It was a bit distracting for me because I'm used to seeing her all in, but I was glad when she opened up near the ending. She opened up a bit and brought us a little more joy and a little more of that real Majesty. Her voice sounded fine, but it just lacked a little bit of the abandon that suited her so well in like Happy and Tightrope. Harry said she was smart and complex and said she challenges the audience with her choices. Keith didn't like the folk treatment of the song, but said her voice always delivers. J-Lo noticed the fear in her performance and said she doesn't want to see that girl ever again. I agree, J-Lo. Sam Woolf was in the pimp spot. He did We Are Young by Fun featuring Janelle Monae, and I like the opening section of the song in Sam's voice, and he did okay with the performance, but again, this one he should have left the safety of the mic stand, you know, maybe drop the guitar and work the stage, talk to the audience. I just thought it was like kind of lackadaisical. The background were also carrying the melody on the high notes. He didn't really hit the high notes, and this was kind of safe for him. It wasn't again, no wow moment in it, just middle of the road, safe. Not really great. J-Lo said it was much better than last week. Harry said he needs to own it and he feels like he's too timid. What did you guys think of the performances? Tell me down in the comments. Tell me who you thought was the best of the night. And yeah, that's about it for me. This is Robert Anton, robertantonnyc. I hope I didn't go on too long. I am out. Peace. Alrighty then.